Aloha! My name is Craig Glenn, and I am a professor in the Department of Geology and Geophysics and the School of Ocean, Earth Science, and Technology at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. The University of Hawaii Seagrant College Program, otherwise known as Hawaii Seagrant, is based at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Hawaii Seagrant supports an innovative program of research, education, and extension services directed to the improved understanding and stewardship of coastal and marine resources of the state, the region, and the nation. This is Hawaii Sea Grant Podcast number 8, Humans, Water, and Rocks.
Aloha and welcome to our 321 podcast. My name is Mathioudakis.
And this is Rachel.
This is Craig.
I'm Michael.
And I'm Daniel.
And we are part of Hawaii Sea Grant and the University of Hawaii located in Honolulu, Hawaii.
This podcast features research supported by Hawaii Sea Grant. Each episode will highlight a new project and the people that make the project possible.
We will ask these researchers for 3 words that describe their research, give them 2 minutes to explain how their research benefits communities here in Hawaii, and end by asking them to provide one thing they know about each other than their research. So 3 words, 2 minutes, and 1 thing. It's a 3-2-1 podcast.
Well, we sure have a full house today.
Yes, it's nice to have y'all with us.
So tell me, what are 3 words that describe your research?
3 words that describe our research best are probably water, pollution, and the environment.
So water, we'll start there.
I think that's a really good start when we talk about water. A lot of people think about water and they think about the rain, the ocean, and streams, and we forget about the groundwater.
So what about pollution?
Well, this water can carry with it pollutants from the land. Our job is to basically find where this groundwater is entering the streams in the ocean and find what pollutants it's carrying with it.
So the last word is environment.
Yeah, and that's what we're most concerned about. We're concerned about how this pollution is affecting Hawaii's local environment and the local communities that live there and utilize so many important resources.
We're learning about coastal geology in this podcast. Here to share their research are Dr. Craig Glenn and his graduate students, Michael Mathioudakis and Daniel Dores.
Before we ask how your research benefits communities here in Hawaii, let's talk about a few scientific words. So 3 words that you use a lot in your research are geochemical, remote sensing, and OSDS. Can you explain what these words mean?
When we talk about geochemistry, we talk about the chemistry of rocks, the earth, soil, and for us, most importantly, the water. And we mentioned earlier nutrients, but having too many nutrients can often be a bad thing for an environment that's not used to that.
The 2 other words, OSDS and remote sensing, kind of go hand in hand. OSDS are on-site sewage disposal systems. So this is any sort of independent wastewater treatment system that includes cesspools or septic tanks. These independent waste treatment systems can leach wastewater into the groundwater. They're actually designed to leach water. So here in Hawaii, the groundwater is actually colder than the ocean water because it's insulated from the sun and it comes from rainfall at high elevations that's already pretty cold. So it's a few degrees colder, and our way of identifying it then is by measuring the temperature, and we do that remotely using remote sensing. So when you think about the word remote, you think about the remote control you have in your living room at home. So you use that remote to control your TV remotely, so you're not actually having to press the buttons on your TV. So in our case, remote sensing is sensing temperature from a distance.
Okay, so now tell us, in 2 minutes or less, how does your research benefit the communities here in Hawaii?
So our research benefits the community because these community members are being impacted by this wastewater problem. There have been multiple beach closures in the Kaneohe Bay area and in beaches throughout the island because wastewater bacteria is getting into these streams and into the ocean. So this is a problem that all of the community members are very aware of.
So the Department of Health uses a very good standard that was set by the EPA that uses bacteria counts to decide how much wastewater has entered that beach or that stream that they're sampling from. But there are concerns that this doesn't work so well on Hawaii compared to the mainland, where the EPA really tested their standards. So we work together with the Department of Health and Craig Nelson, another seagrant professor, and his students, and we're really trying to come up with another approach that can utilize the Department of Health's bacteria parameters, Craig Nelson's own microbiology work, and our geochemical parameters that can really get a nice comprehensive look at how this wastewater is getting into our recreational water.
Let's recap. When asked to provide 3 words that describe your research, you said water, pollution, and environment. You provided definitions for 3 scientific words that are commonly used in your research. These words were geochemical, remote sensing, and OSDS. We've learned about your research and how your research will help communities here in Hawaii. So let's get technical. How do you do what you do?
I'd say we do it with a lot of long days out in the field. It involves a lot of, I'd say, grunt work, and then you come back, you bring your samples to the lab, and it requires a lot of fine-tuning after that. And so we could be spending 8, 10, 12-hour days out in the field collecting these water samples, hiking up streams and trudging through the mud in Kaneohe Bay. And then you come back and you put the gloves on and you're working under some really fine, precise conditions. So it's a lot of...
In the lab.
In the lab, yeah, in the lab.
Days in which we fly the drone are definitely quite a bit more enjoyable, and we're able to get a lot of data in a short amount of time.
So that's your remote sensing, right?
Yes.
You're using drones and other aircraft.
It's unfortunately we can't use that to sample because that would be very nice. But
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Was it hard to learn how to fly a drone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither Daniel or I came in with any experience flying drones, so definitely had quite a few practice flights, went through a pilot certification with the FAA, and did a lot of practice before we got out in the field. And
Any crashes?
We don't talk about that.
Well, we don't talk about that? Okay. It
Yeah,
didn't
we
happen.
had one serious one, but we've fixed it.
That's good.
Well, that's a wrap. But before we go, we want to ask you, Craig, what is one thing you know about Michael and one thing about Daniel other than their research?
Well, they're both sports nuts. I gotta say, sometimes I come in the office and I see them watching football or baseball.
Oh, okay. What are your teams? Tell me.
I'm a huge New York fan.
Oh, man.
Giants, Yankees.
Okay.
I'm an Indiana sports fan, so Notre Dame, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Okay. All right. I respect that.
Well, Michael and Daniel, what's one thing you know about Craig other than his research?
Uh-oh.
He likes Thai food. First time I met him, he took me to a Thai restaurant. As soon as I got here, it was great food. So loves his Thai food.
Yeah. Where's your favorite place to go to get Thai?
Well, there's a lot of really good places, and I love to go to all of them. But I guess that time we went, it's one of my main go-tos is to Thai for up on Wildlife. I can recommend it.
Great name.
What about you, Daniel? What do you know?
I'd say the one thing that sticks with me about Craig is he's our movie buff in the office.
Oh, yeah?
Big time. He's got the Blu-ray DVD set.
Well, this is at home, of course.
Of course, right. Sorry, in the office.
Right.
This is what we do at our weekly meetings. Yeah.
You actually marathon movie series.
Yeah,
Is that
we
what
have
happens?
the whole James Bond collection we're working on this semester.
That's good.
Not true.
Stay tuned for our next podcast, and mahalo for listening. Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha. Thank you.
This Hawai'i Sea Grant 321 podcast featured 3 songs: Happiness by bensound.com, Ukulele by bensound.com, and Cute by bensound.com. Find it on iTunes and bensound.com.